Hello everyone, welcome to the Laravel tips and tricks. So today video is about how you can generate the controller with the route model binding. So route model binding is basically you accept a route, you accept a model in your method, and then you can type in this model, and this will be automatically search into the database and find that if the record is found, it will return the record, otherwise it return the 404 exception, right? So how you can generate the default controller with this route model binding. So if you are not familiar with this one, so you can watch my video where I completely explain that what is route model binding and how you can search into a specific column, right? So in this video I'm explaining it in a very well way, and I'm shooting this full Laravel course, so you can get the benefit from this course. I will attach the link in the description. Okay, now let's come to our topic. Our topic is we are generating a resource controller, and we want to add the route model binding, right? So now let's go here and type php artisan make controller, and I want to generate the resource controller. By the way, you can set the order like you added this resource first or you added this model first, it's not to matter, right? So here I want to generate the resource controllers. First let me specify the my controller name. It would be a user controller, and then I want to generate the resource controller, and then I'm adding this here a flag of user, right? So by default user model is created when you create your application, right? So here if I type enter, so it's going to create the user controller with the resource, and it will also type hint my user model into the show method, edit and update and destroy. So hit enter. Okay, controller created successfully. If I go to this controller, and then let's go to this store request and this show method. So now it's type hinted with the user, and this user is automatically added at the top, this one, and it's also added in the edit, and also added this here update and destroy, right? So it's a pretty simple way how you can do this with the route model binding. So now there is one more amazing way. So let me delete this out. So if you don't delete this, it will not going to create it, and it will add the additional thing which will not create it. So for example, in my case, I don't want to use this with this photo model, right? So my photo model does not exist in my model. So let me open my model there. So there is no photo model, right? So if I go here and hit enter, so it's going to first ask me that you want to create the photo model, and yes, it's asking, it does not exist. Yes, I want to create this. So just type yes, and yes, it says that model created, and there is a photo model is added here, right? So now let me close this out and go to this user controller. So now this namespace is also added at the top, and this is type hinted in my show method, edit and stuff like that, right? So now I want to show you one more thing. You can play around one more thing with the request. So for example, you want to generate the controller, you want to type hint your model, and third, you want to create the request for this controller, store request and update request. So basically I'm asking about the form request, right? So how you can add this? So just type here not resource, you need to type requests. Remember, it would be a plural, right? So this would be a request. If I hit enter, so it's going to generate the user controller with the resource with the type hinted photo model, and it's going to execute these requests, right? So let me change the model from, no, I'm not going to change this model. I'm going to make this for photo and request. So type request and take eye on this, what it's going to do. Created successfully, request created successfully. So it's created two form requests for store and for update. So now let's take eye on this store. So store photo request, okay, and store update photo request, right? So it's how it's checking that which request should be created. So if you go here and let me remove this user controller And by the way, if these requests are not exist before this one, and now these are created. So if you want to create creating a user model, you are creating the user model. Let me go here and type user. So now this is going to generate the user request, user store user request, update user request. So hit enter. Okay, and wait for a moment to generate, and yes, request is generated, request is created, and controller is created. So now I'm going to this controller, and this controller, this namespace is added at the top, and this is the resource controller, and now this accept the store user request and update user request, and it's type into this user. So it means that this model specify that which request you want to create. So Laravel is automatically injecting this, that you are creating a user model, that's why you need these user requests. So Laravel is very intelligent, right? So hope you will get benefit from these tips and tricks, because it will save your lot of time. So you don't need to manually type into your things, you don't need to create your request. So you can also learn that how Laravel will type in these things. So you don't need to strictly follow these Laravel conventions, because Laravel is doing itself. So if you like this video, subscribe the YouTube channel and get daily notified at 11 AM according to the Pakistan time. So I will meet you in the next one. Bye bye.